and you need to go get it. So find it. All right, what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the test that we took today. I'm going to show you how to do it right because some of you didn't do it right and you want to take the retest. I will attach the link to this video and I'll attach the retest onto the Edmodo. If you watch the video, maybe you'll figure out where you made some mistakes so that on the retest you don't make those same mistakes. Make sense? Why don't you get Gershom on that back table? There should be copies of the test. Make sure everybody that's in here has a copy of that test, please. You can write on it. It's yours to use however you want to. Because I need you to understand how to do these things. So Gershom's going to pass those out. As Gershom passes it out, make sure everybody in here has one. Make sure everybody in here is following along so that you know what you did incorrectly or you know what you did right, so you can repeat the things you did correct and you can avoid the mistakes on what you did incorrectly. So let's look at problem number 1. Gershom, here's yours, and I'm going to need that. I'm going to look at it before you leave so you don't run off with it. All right, problem number 1 says, fill in the bubble for the correct answer. Use the stem and leaf plot for 1 and 2. Jenny records the heights of her family members. The heights in inches are 50, 53, 45, 52, 68, 56, 47, 69, and 60. The stem and leaf plot shows some of the data. What are the leaves for the stem 5? Well, the easiest way to do this and to show your work, since you couldn't write on this, it would have been easier to go through and write down everything, all the numbers. You don't have to actually fill out the stem and leaf plot, but you can go through and write down all the numbers. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to write down, and you can look when you get your test back if you don't already, if you got it wrong, you'll be able to figure out why.
I thought it was C.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down all the numbers that have a 5 in the tens place. So there's a 50, there's a 53, there's a 52, there's a 56. Those are all the numbers. Whose homeroom are you in? Okay, if you can't find your test, then just sit down. Because if I go in there and find it, you're going to stay in for recess for the rest of your life. You do know your name, right? Sit down and watch. Get a copy of the test so you can see it's at the table, and then sit somewhere where you can see me. All right, so the stem and leaf plot, the data on the stem and leaf plot, these are all the numbers that start with 50. It asks you, what are the leaves for the stem of 50? And as we know, and it gives you the examples there. Gives you the example there, and it even shows you the 4, the 5, and the 6. Okay? All we have to do is go through and put in the stems or the leaves for the 5. Did you grade Sadie's, or are you still doing it? Did I give you Sadie's to grade?
No.
Okay, find Sadie's in there so she can get hers back, please. Okay, and then these are all the tens place. These are our leaves right here. And as you notice, we have 4 leaves, 4 different leaves. We have a 0, a 3, a 2, and a 6. Well, if you look at that answer choice A, there's a 7. There's not a 7 in this one.
Yes.
Answer choice B. Again, we have a 0, a 3, a 2, and a 6. There's no 5. Answer choice B has a 5. There is no 5 here, so that can't be it. Did you find it?
No, I didn't find it yet.
Okay. Sadie, go back and help her and see if you can quickly. And again, we have 4 different answer choices. Are you joining us for this? Okay, go to Miss Toll's room and get your test. It's on the top of the mailboxes. And if you happen to see Caden Van, will you bring it for him too? Because he doesn't know his name. Okay, so we're looking at, again, all these numbers that have a 5 in the stem. We want to put the leaves here. There's only one answer choice that has a 0, a 3, a 2, and a 6. And that is answer choice C. There's really very little that you should have missed that problem. You have to take your time.
It's on, remember I gave it to you? I think it's on the desk.
Well, see if it's on my desk. And look, I don't care, just find it. Okay, so the answer choice for number 1, the correct answer is C.
Yep, got it.
Good, have her grade it. Okay, again, if you showed a little bit of work, you put in a little bit of brain power, you shouldn't have missed that one. That's a gimme, an easy one. Number 2 is, what is the range in the heights? What is the range in the heights? Michael, do you remember how we find range? Excellent, Michael. Range is, and if you didn't know you had access to your textbook, the range, you take the biggest number and you subtract the smallest number. The biggest number, subtract the smallest number. So let me ask you this. Looking at your paper, looking at just the stem and leaf plot, what's the biggest number on the stem and leaf plot? Sadie?
9.
Okay, but what's the whole number? The 9 is just the leaf.
69.
69. That is the biggest number. Okay, if you look at the chart, and you can go get a copy of this test back there so you can follow along. Yes, ma'am.
She didn't answer the rest. So do I just count those marks?
Look
Yep.
on the back.
Or turn it over, look on
There's
the back.
on the back.
And then we look at the smallest number. The smallest number is going to start with a what?
A
4. Okay, because that's our smallest stem. And what is the smallest number that starts with a 4? Gershom?
45.
45. So to find the range, you take the biggest number, you subtract the smallest number. 69 subtract 45. So you should have gotten A, 24, is what you should have gotten. Okay? Again, stem and leaf plot, very easy. These are I'm probably going to tell you every single time. These are give me problems. I'm probably going to tell you that every single time. But there's not a reason for you to miss these things. Okay? And if you watch the videos and used your book and stuff, you're going to find that actually putting forth some effort is going to make your life 400 times.
Wait.
It's 400 times better. What?
Street Meadow?
Yes.
Was it 1 C?
Number 1 was C. Yes. And 2
She
was
marked it
A.
wrong.
Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. We'll look at that in a
I
minute.
probably misread those.
Okay. Let's look at number 3.
Number C. Letter C.
Number 3
This is 2.
is use the table for 3 and 4.
Yeah. This is
And then the table is titled travel time, distance from school, and travel times in minutes.
Yeah.
Keep it down.
This one.
All right, and so we have our table. What is, are we having a problem? We get it figured out?
Hers.
Okay. 3 is, which is the best scale to use for both the x-axis and the y-axis on this scatter plot? We'll look at the top is distance from school. Distance from school. Anthony, what are they counting? I mean, tell me the numbers in the row distance from school.
1, 6, 3, 11, 3, 9.
Good. 1, 6, 3, 11, 3, and 9. Okay? So what's our biggest one?
11.
11. So do we want to count by, I mean, look at our answer choices. Do I want to count by 10s? No. Do I want to count by 30s?
No.
Okay? So just looking at my top line, I've already eliminated B and C. Now let's look at, Ariel, the second, the time, travel time in minutes. What are the numbers there? Please read them.
6, 12, 10, 39, and 18.
Good. 6, 12, 10, 39, and 18. We've eliminated, it's down to 2 choices. It's either A1 or D3. Now, which one do you think is going to be the best choice, Ariel?
3.
3. Because if we counted by 1, that's going to be really long because we got to go all the way up to 30, right? Okay. Yes, it's going to make that part of the chart. Our chart's going to end up being huge. Okay, so counting by 3s, we're only going to have to go 10 lines up, 10 intervals up to get to 30. So then your correct answer choice should have been D3. Make sense? Dollars, pennies? All right, number 4. Which ordered pair would not represent a point on the scatter plot of the data? Would not represent a point on the scatter plot of the data. Okay, if you look at it, and Caden, you found your test? Okay, if you look at it, the top line on our chart, the distance from school, is going to be on our x-axis. So that's going to be our first number in our ordered pair. The second number in our ordered pair is going to be the travel time. So if we look at this, let's just look at each answer choice. Answer choice A has a 6 in the x-axis. In distance traveled from school, are there any with 6 in that axis?
Yes.
Yes, the second one in is 6. And what's the ordered pair that matches up with 6?
12.
12. So 6, 12 is there. So A cannot be one of our answer choices because the question asks what would not be on this chart. Okay, let's look at B. 3, 9. Do we have a 3, 9 matched up on our chart?
Yes.
Yes. It's the next to the last one. Distance from school is 3, travel time is 9. Okay, so it's not going to be B. C. Do we have a 318 anywhere on this chart?
No.
We don't have a 318?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, good. So C would be the correct answer choice. There is no 318. If you go back and you look at D, we do have 1130. We have 11 and then 30, so it'd be 11, 30. Okay, so that would be the correct answer choice for that. Number 5. The table shows the amount of time it took hikers to travel the entire length of the hiking trail. Now we got all these times, the amount of hours, 2, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 1 1/2, 2, 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 2, 1 3/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 3. Okay? The park ranger wants to make a dot plot of the data. How many dots would he place to show hiking times greater than 2 hours? So does that include 2 hours? Is 2 hours greater than 2 hours? No. So we look at our chart and we want to count how many numbers on here are bigger than 2 hours. So we're going to go through and I'm going to read it straight across. And you're going to tell me whether it's big or not. Do we include 2?
No.
No. 1 3/4.
No.
2 1/4.
Yes.
Yes, that's bigger than 2. 1 1/2.
No.
2.
No.
1.
No.
1 1/2.
No.
2 1/2.
Yes.
Yes. So that's 2. 2.
No.
1 3/4.
No.
2 1/2.
Yes.
That's 3. And 2 1/4.
Yes.
Yes. 2.
No.
3.
Yes.
Okay. So there are 4 times 4 people took longer than 2 hours to complete the trail. And again, it's a matter of counting. It's just a matter of counting.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually 5.
Which ones? Oh, 3. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
3 is on there, so there would be 5. Okay? So we have 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. My bad, thank you, Sadie. So there should be 5. And all you had to do is go back on this chart. You didn't have to write your dot plot. You didn't have to do anything other than count the numbers which were greater than 2 on this table. Count the numbers which were greater than 2 on the table. All right, numbers 6 and 7, we have the dot plot. 6 and 7, we have the dot plot. And again, if you're looking at this on Edmodo, there was a copy of this, so you can look at that, pull it up, follow along, whichever one. I'm going to put a copy of that on there. Haven't done it yet. Number 6. What is the range of the test scores? Michael, what did we tell you how we find range? What did I tell you? I wrote it down. To find the range, we do what? Caden Van?
Subtract the highest and the lowest.
Good. So Caden Van, looking at this dot plot, what is the highest test score?
91.
No.
5.
95. Okay? Not the one that most people scored, but the highest test score. If I was putting it in the grade book, the highest test score I would put in the grade book would be a 95, according to this dot plot. Anthony, what is the lowest test score?
80. Yeah, 85.
85. So the highest test score is a 95. The lowest test score is an 85. So finding the range, the biggest, subtract the smallest. 95 subtract 85 gives me what?
10.
10. So the answer choice is C. The answer choice is C.
Yes.
Very easy. Well, you knew you got it right. Why are you celebrating when you could see it on your paper?
Sorry.
All right.
So close.
So close.
Yeah, I was like, I just have to be, so I was so close to the answer.
It was right next door.
Yeah.
All right. How many more students received a score of 90 or less than received a score of greater than 90? Okay? 90 or less. Does that include 90?
Yes.
Okay? So we count every dot on this chart from 90 down to 85. So, Ariel, how many dots are from 90 to 85?
14.
So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 of them are 90 or less. So 14 people got a grade of 90 between 90 and 85, or including 90 and 85. Now I need to know how many were greater than 90. Sadie, how many were greater than 90? Greater than 90.
11.
No, greater than 90. Greater than 90. Are there any 91s?
Yes.
Yes, how many?
5.
5. 92s?
No.
Okay, 93s.
Yes.
So 5 plus 3 is
8.
plus. Are there any 94s?
Yes.
How many?
10.
Okay,
9.
9,
8. 10.
10, 11. Good. So what number did you tell me there were?
14.
Minus the number that Sadie told me? 11. So the range is
3.
3. Or I'm sorry, the difference is 3. We took the number that scored 90 or less, subtract the number that scored greater than 90. So the difference is 3. Again, some of you made it more difficult than it should have. If you have a question on how it was graded, I'll look at it when we're done. Okay?
Yes. And that answer is D.
All right, a museum director, number 8. A museum director records the number of people who visited the museum on 9 different days and the amount of money that was donated each day. This one was kind of tricky. If you didn't pay attention to scatter plots when we went over them, or you didn't watch the video on scatter plots, it was a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you today, and it's going to be ace. You got it? And then if you want to do the retest for a higher grade, I'll put that on Edmodo. I'm going to put it on Edmodo along with this video. And so if you want to do the retest for a higher grade, you'll have that option.
So we can do it.
So we look at our scatter plot, titled Museum Donations. The horizontal axis is number of visitors. The vertical axis is amount of donations. And the question asks, she displays the data on the scatter plot about how much money was donated per day when 200 people visited the museum. So if we look at number of visitors and we go to 200,
Yes.
okay, everybody see where it says number of visitors along the x-axis, and you go up to, and you find 200, right? How many dots are there that are lined up with 200? 2. That means there were 2 days where there were 200 visitors. One of those 2 days where there were 200 visitors, they donated how much money?
300.
$300. Okay, the other day where there was about 200 visitors, they donated about how much?
350.
350. So that would be a total of what?
650.
650. Okay, so what answer choice did you pick?
A.
Did I mark it wrong?
Yes.
Okay, so it should be A. It should be A.
Wow.
Because 650 is closest to 600.
Need a better.
About.
Oh, I didn't. We're supposed to.
Okay, I'll look at it in a minute. I will look at it in a minute when I'm done. Do what?
Were we supposed to round?
Well, since it said about, yes.
That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to round.
Kelsey, on my key on answer choice 8, will you change the answer to A instead of leaving it as a D? I think I put D.
Did you put D?
Okay. All right. For questions 9 and 10, use a scatter plot. Title, hot chocolate sales. Temperature along the left-hand side. Cups of hot chocolate along the vertical, or the horizontal axis. Which statement about the data shown in the scatter plot is true? If you didn't know how to read scatter plots, but you knew when people drink hot chocolate, you could have been able to answer this question without even looking at the scatter plot. Okay, because this question was basic common sense. Which statement about the data shown in the scatter plot is true? As the temperature increases, hot chocolate sales increase.
No.
If it gets hotter, are more people going to buy hot chocolate?
No.
Doesn't make sense. B, as the temperature decreases, as it gets colder, hot chocolate sales increase.
Yes.
'Cause that's probably the most likely of them. And if you went back and looked at your scatter plot, then that's what would show, is it would be answer choice B.
Yes.
Make sense? Okay.
So,
10. When the temperature hit 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 cups of hot chocolate were sold. Which ordered pair shows this data on the chart? Well, what always goes first when we're putting ordered pairs? The horizontal or the vertical?
The vertical.
The horizontal goes first. So the number of cups, which is along the bottom of the scatter plot, if you're looking at this chart, the number of cups is the horizontal one. In the problem, it tells you how many cups are there. Tells me how many cups are in the question. Gershom, are you with me? How many cups does it talk about in the problem? 5 cups. So 5 has to be our first number.
And
Our second number has to be
45.
45. Excellent. So the answer choice should be B.
Wait. Oh, on the temperature side, that's vertical.
Yes.
And the last number was 50, and then the first number is 5.
Okay.
I thought you said 45.
No, it goes 5 across, 45 up. Always horizontal first. So your answer choice is going to be B. Answer choice should be B.
Yes, I got it right.
You should know that you got it right because it wouldn't be marked wrong on your paper then. All right. Darnell measured the leaves as part of a science project. To the nearest centimeter, the length of each leaf is 12, 13, 12, 12, 15, 13, 14, 15, 12, 12, 15, 14, 13, 14, and 11. The dot plot shows some of the data. How many dots should Darnell mark above 14? And again, all you had to do, you didn't have to draw the whole dot plot and fill it in.
Yeah.
All you had to do is go in and count how many 14s are in that set of data. Lambert, how many? How many 14s in that data?
3.
3. So the answer choice should be
A.
A. All it was counting. How many 14s were in that data? Again, something very simple. Some of you make tests way harder than they need to be. Some of you freak out when you have tests and you make it way harder than they need to be. It's not very difficult. 12. Let's look at 12. And we didn't have to do much math on 12 either, if you just look at the dot plot. How many more leaves measured 12 centimeters long than measured 15 centimeters long? Let's go with Caden Van. How many leaves measured 12 centimeters long? And all you have to do is look at the dot plot. How many dots are above the 12? 5. And Caden Van, how many dots are above the 15? 3. What's the difference between those two? Caden? 2. Because 5 is 2 bigger than 3. 5 minus 3 would be 2. So your answer you should have written down is 2. Had some people with crazy answers like 912. I don't know what, that didn't make any sense to me. All right, let's look at the next part, 13 and 14. The distance Clea biked weekly in miles are 49, 31, 36, 41, 28, 44, 23, 34, 32, 33, and 25. The stem and leaf plot shows some of the data. What are the leaves for the stem of 2? And again, you go back, you look at the list. You don't have to draw the chart at all. You look at the list, and what are the leaves for stem of 2? Ariel?
3, 5, and 8.
3, 5, and 8. So according to what Ariel's saying, there's a 23, there's a 25, and there's a 28. Any other 20s in there?
No.
No. Easy. It's just looking at the numbers. 14 was a little tough. 14 made you think just a little bit. And I'm sorry that I made you think a little bit. But, you know, I'm a jerk sometimes, and that's the way I roll.
You are not.
No, I'm a jerk all the time. Thank you. All right, so let's look at 14. Clea finds the total number of miles she biked in the week she biked more than 40 miles. So we want to find out when she biked more than 40 miles.
Oh, I see what I did. No.
We need to figure out the total number she biked when she biked more than 40 miles. Next month, she plans to bike twice as many miles as that total. How many miles does Clea plan to bike next month? Well, what are the times that she biked more than 40 miles? What are they? Ariel?
Sorry. 41, 44, and 49.
Good. 3 times in that month, she biked more than 40 miles. So that month, when she biked more than 40 miles, 9 and 1 is 10, plus 4 is 14, carry the 1, 4, 8, 12, 13,
She
134.
She plans to do twice as many.
Whoa.
Excellent. She plans to do, next month, she plans to do twice as many days, or twice as many miles as this on days she drives 40.
68.
So we take 134, we multiply it by 2,
And I did not
and
do
you
that.
get 268. 268. Okay? Piece of cake.
Piece.
Again, some of you looked at it like, I don't know what that says. I don't understand.
No, I see.
Because it's 40 divide, and then you divide, and then you add 1, and it makes no sense to me.
So that's 14. Again, we've gone through 14 problems. You shouldn't have missed any of these 14 problems if you concentrated, cooperated, thinked.
Think did. Thought.
All right, 15. 15, we're back to having a dot plot. And 15 was a little one that required some math. Many of these didn't require very much math. It was just looking at the data and thinking. Looking at the data and thinking. So the dot plot shows the different amounts of wheat flour a baker mixes into each loaf of bread. Then he had 2 loaves that required 2.5. 2.5
Oh,
2
I see
and
what
1/2 of wheat.
wheat flour. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that required 3. We had 2 that required 3.5. What is the total amount of wheat flour the baker would use to make all of the loaves of bread? Well, let's look at each one. For 2.5, we had 2 dots. So what's 2.5 plus 2.5? $2.50 plus $2.50 is how much? Anybody? 5. So 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. So she has a total of 5 cups there. For 3, she has how many dots above 3?
5.
So 5 different loaves required 3 cups. That's how many? 15. So we're already at a total of 20. And then 3.5 has how many dots above it? 2. And 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7. So we have 5 plus 15 plus 7, which is 27. So our correct answer would be D. Again, dot plots, stem and leaf plots, frequency tables. All of those are very, very, very easy. The one that was kind of made you think a little bit is the scatter plots. And that's why I put all those videos on Edmodo for you to watch. And Lambert, I know you watched all of them because you worked hard.
Actually, I only seen one of your videos. Just one.
Use the stem and leaf plots for 16 and 17. The number of books read by students. The stems are 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we have leaves. How many more students read fewer than 25 books than read more than 35 books? Okay, so looking at our stem and leaf plot. How many more students read fewer than 25 books? So we want to go fewer than 25 books. Do we include 25? No. So I want to go everything less than 25. So from 24 all the way down to 13. And how many is that, Ariel? 9. So fewer than 25 books is 9. You with me, Gershon?
Yeah.
No?
Wait, no, is it 8?
1, 2, 3,
I don't know,
4,
you're telling
5,
me.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, we have 13, 14, 14, 16, 19, 21, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there should be 10. Okay? So 10 were fewer than 25. And then read more than 35 books. So now I want to know how many read more than 35 books. So now we're going down. Do we count 35?
2, 3, no.
No. So how many are there for more than 35? Everybody, tell me.
4.
4.
Which equals?
Because we had 37, 41, 42, and 43. And then it asks, how many more? So what's the difference between these two? 6.
6.
We subtract, our difference is 6. Again, the math we've done is not difficult.
16 is 8.
The math we're doing is not difficult. It just takes a little bit of patience and willing to work through it. All right. Using the same scatter plot, students who read more than 25 and fewer than 35 books were given book certificates worth $5. So from 26 books to 34 books, they received how much money? $5 gift card. So anything between 26 and 34, including 26 and 34, they're going to get a $5 gift card. How many is that, Ariel? So if we go to our 2 stem and we go all the way out, do we count 26?
Yes.
So 26, 27, 28, 28, 30, 32, 32, 34. Okay? So these were 8 people. And if each of those people got a $5 gift card, they gave out $40 in $5 gift cards for that.
You're multiplying 5 times 4, 5 times 8.
5 times 8. 8 people. Each of those 8 people got a $5 gift card. But are we done? No. The second part says students who read 35 books or more. Does that count 35?
Yes.
Yes, 35 or more. How many students read 35 or more? Anybody? Say it. Go.
5.
5. So 5 people. And what kind of gift card did they get?
A $10 gift card.
$10 gift card. So that's a total of how much money? 50. So they gave $40 out in $5 gift cards. They gave $50 out in $10 gift cards. So that's a total of $90. And that's what the question asks. What is the total value of the book certificates given to the students? 90. Again, so not difficult to get the answer. It's just a matter of wanting to do a little bit of math, counting, looking at the chart, being able to multiply by 5 or 10. Which, woohoo, 5s and 10s.
Who knows their 5s and 10s, Ariel? That's just crazy. Nobody can count on their fingers by 5s and 10s.
Yeah, that's
All right, 18.
10.
Prepackaged fruit salad is sold in different weights at a deli. And then they list all the weights. 2 and 5 tenths, 1 and 25 hundredths, 1 and 75 hundredths, 1 and 25 hundredths, 1 and 75 hundredths, 1 and 75 hundredths, 2 and 25 hundredths, 75 hundredths, 2 and 5 tenths, 1. The deli owner lists the weights of the containers of fruit salad she sells. She wants to use the data to make a dot plot. So again, this is our dot plot. Our smallest amount is going to be what? What's our smallest amount on our chart?
1.
No.
9.
No.
75.
75 hundredths.
0. Oh.
And so if we go through and we put all our amounts, our pounds, is it pounds? Yes. Our pounds along the bottom, and then our dots are going to be the number of times that appears in the chart. How many dots should she use to represent the number 1 and 75 hundredths pound containers of salad sold? All you got to do is go through and count. How many times does 1 and 75 hundredths appear?
3.
3 times. So your answer should be B, 3. Okay, not difficult.
No, it is not.
Even Kelsey could do this. But that's mostly because Kelsey had the best math teacher in the entire universe last year. Who was your math teacher last year, Kelsey? Me! Isn't that amazing? All right.
6th grade? Yes.
Well, if she had me last year, Sadie, and I teach 5th grade, yes, she was in 6th grade. She's in 6th grade. All right, and last but not least,
Number 19.
a farmer wants to show the relationship between the ages of his apple trees and the number of apples they produce. So these are the 2 things that are going to be on this chart. Ages and number of apples. There's only 2 things on here. He collects the data to make a scatter plot. He puts tree ages in one axis. Well, if he puts the tree ages on one axis, What does he need to put on the other axis?
The number of apples the trees produce.
Good, the number of apples the trees produce. A, the price of the apples is nowhere in the information. It doesn't matter. The heights of the trees doesn't talk about that. And the color of the apples in the trees doesn't talk about that. If you thought and used your brain a little bit, 19 again was an easy one. Good.
C.
Thank you.